Oh, life can be cruel sometimes. A simple lesson I learned yesterday with my family, with my daughter Zoe, I'll tell you about shortly. But it really resonated with me because it made me understand that we could be hamstringing our team members' performance when they don't know how to do a task. We can assume that they do, and I know this is basic. You can be rest assured, I'm going to give you 3 examples today of people who assumed knowledge. They assumed their team knew how to do things and as a result did not perform to the level, the standard that was expected. And it's simple. Every day we assume that our staff have knowledge, have skills to be able to do things, and sometimes they don't. And you know, when we assume something, you know what it makes out of us. An ass out of you and me. Welcome to JTInTheRaw, show 258, where I chew the thin on business. And after 32 years in business, I have just a few thins to chew. And I love to get on every single week and share with you some of the things that I've learned in the week and also some of the screw-ups I have made in the week. And so I thought I might start off with a screw-up and then I'll give you 3 examples of what I'm talking about in business. So let's start it off. Let's kick this baby off with the example that I started with in the introduction. So Zoe and a friend of hers have decided that in the school holidays here in Australia, they are going to run Zoom coaching for our youngest netball players in our netball club. What a great idea. How cool is that, you know, to have our 2 12-year-olds running little drills on Zoom for our 8 and 9-year-olds. Love it. But it needs to be obviously of a certain standard. It needs to be planned. We've got to have ideas and strategies behind it. And so I challenged Zoe to put all these things down on paper and show me what she was going to be doing in these sessions. And when I saw what she was planning on doing, because she wrote them down, I was appalled. I couldn't believe it. I was just like, what? These girls are 8 and 9. You're going to do all that in 30 minutes? There was so much wrong. There was more wrong than right. And I tried to find some good, but I struggled. But the reality is this. Zoe had never, ever written a coaching plan. She'd never, ever done this task. So how could I have an expectation on her that she's going to be able to deliver a top quality coaching session for kids when she's never done it before? So I had to pull myself back. And too many times in business and in life, we allocate tasks to a team member, a friend or a family member or whatever the case may be, who are undertrained or they're underprepared to deliver the standard, the result or the performance that we need. It's a simple mistake, but we do it. And we do it a lot. So the lesson today is about do not assume knowledge. Do not assume knowledge. I want to give you 3 examples that I heard just this week when I was working with some Rex members. So the first one is this. One gym owner was trying to increase personal training clients for one of their personal trainers. So they put the personal trainer on the front desk. Now, they weren't running the front desk. They were there to support the person who was working the reception desk. So they were a support person here. And at the end of the first session, so the goal of being on that reception desk was to engage with members, engage with them, number 1, so that you could ask for a complimentary session number 2. That was it. That was the simple task. The assumption from the owner is that that personal trainer would know what to do. Now, what we found out later is that that trainer really didn't know how to ask. That trainer didn't really know what then they would be doing in a trial session. And thirdly, of course, ask for money. So we plopped them into an environment that they weren't comfortable in, but we didn't train them. We didn't help them with the skills to be able to do the tasks that they were there to do. Get clients. Chris Stevenson, good morning. Jace Lawrence, good morning. Woz, good morning. Carol, good morning. None of you would make these mistakes, I'm sure. So let me go through that one again. They chucked them on the front desk, but they actually didn't teach the trainer how to engage, how to have that conversation with the member as they walked in, with the goal of being able to book them for a personal training session before they walked past. That was the number one example. Second example, new staff member, took them through how to open the club. What was the processes, the things that they had to do to open a business? Simple as that. Just open the business on a daily basis. What logistics did you have to do? Now, the assumption was made by the owner that closing was simply the reverse of the opening process. However, when you drill down deeper, it wasn't. So as a result, this new team member was put on a closing shift without ever being taught how to close the business up. And there were things that were missed. Owner, frustrated. Team member, think they've done the job properly. But no. There was this assumption made. So that's example 2. Number 3, probably common with every single business, is posting on social media. Every business wants their staff to be posting on socials, whether it's on my personal social or whether it's for the company that I work for, taking photos or adding it to LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, whatever the case may be. The assumption is we know, because as a business owner, our assumption is that we think that the staff know exactly what to post on the company or the business social media page. They don't. Just because they can do it so well, or they do it well, or they do it poorly, but prolifically on their own feeds, doesn't mean that they understand exactly what you're looking for in your business on your social media feeds. We make the assumption that every 18 to 25-year-old, or we make the assumption that someone who is prolific on their own social media knows exactly what to put on a company social feed. That is an assumption. We need to train them. We need to teach them and give them the skills that what they put on the company social media feed has to add value to our customer, has to add value to our prospective customer. When we add that value, that's a good quality social media feed. But we need to teach them that. We need to step them through that process. The problem that we have in business, perhaps we're time poor, perhaps I'm giving us an excuse around that, but our problem is we assume knowledge. We assume the knowledge of the people we are working with. And that can be detrimental to both that individual and their self-confidence and their self-worth in the business. It can be detrimental to the business. Not that it's going to send you broke, it's just going to be a bit of a screw up for a while. But it's also going to add to your frustration. But I could guarantee you with a new team member or new processes that you're putting in place, that frustration will be minimized if you don't assume knowledge. If you think, I have to go back and I have to teach them to do it the way I want them to do it and take them through every step, then you will be less frustrated. So, the 2 keys that I want you to take out of this week's JTInTheRaw, and by the way, if you've got any value out of this week and you're watching live or on replay, hit me up with a love heart right now, because I think this is an important reminder for all of us. Now, there are two keys that I want us to take away from this chat. Number 1, coach, train, help, mentor, shadow, whatever little verb you want to insert, all new tasks with your team members. Anything new, you need to coach them, train them, help them, mentor them, shadow them through the new tasks. That's important. And B, if you're watching this and you're a team member, B, Do not be ashamed, embarrassed to ask for help. We make mistakes as leaders in our business. No leader professes to be an expert in everything. No leader professes to just be everything to everybody. We forget things. So if we've forgotten to show you something, then it shows more courage to put your hand up and ask for help than to not ask for help and bumble your way through. So, if you're the leader, coach, train, help, mentor, shadow people through new tasks. If you're the individual, put your hand up and ask for help. Put your hand up and ask for help. Ladies and gentlemen, they're just 3 examples, plus of course mine with Zoe yesterday on lesson planning or coaching sessions. Just hoping I can get through to everybody today, whether you're watching live or on replay. Don't assume knowledge. Step people through the process. That stepping can be faster if they've got some knowledge, or slowed down if we need to go through each step. Don't assume knowledge, because it'll make an ass out of you and me. Slow the process down. Check the knowledge, but don't assume. I'll catch you on the flip side.